Remember how when I first arrived at Arsenal, one of the big issues was that all our strikers were injured and that's why they were losing. And then they got fit and we were all happy. And now they're all injured again and I might get sacked. The end. Hello and welcome to Club 6, Part 4 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the second leg of the first Europa League knockout round match against Standard Liege, followed by a big Premier League game at home against Chelsea. I say a big game because we really need to start moving up the league. We are still only 3 points behind 5th place West Ham, only 7 points away from a Champions League spot still. A run of wins and we're right back into European contention, but that mid-table position we're sat in at the moment does not look good, and the injury curse has struck again. We've had Reiss Nelson still has never played a game for me as Arsenal manager. The other guy, Rabiot, he's just started to get fit. Where is he? He's not. He might actually be fit to play today. That would be interesting because he's never played a game for me either. Arsenal's big £35 million summer signing. But we've now got injuries to Pingu, who has a damaged spine and is probably out for the rest of the season. Kasper Dolberg had a twisted ankle. He's been out for a couple of weeks now. And Malang Sarr is injured. And Davidi, he's been injured as well. There you go. He's just recovering from injury. I mean, we've been playing well and doing well, and we stuffed Standard Liege in the first leg. This should, in theory, be a big win, but we're down to the bare bones in our attack, and this is the team that we're putting out there. We've got Butland in goal. Oh, and I made a transfer. I forgot that you weren't here for the transfer window. What's his face? The right back Calabria did leave for £36 million, and all I did in the end was replaced him with another right back, Jamie. I think it's Jamie or James. I'm going to call him Jamie. A 20-year-old Brazilian right back, 2.5-star current ability, 4-star potential. He's not brilliant, but he's roughly as good as Suma. He's 20. He's Brazilian. He's got potential. He's probably not going to play much this season, but he's here and he'll be in and around the squad. And I think £25 million and swapping those players, that's some good business for the club because he's 10 years younger than Calabria, roughly equivalent ability, and we won £25 million as part of the deal. So I think we win at transfers in January. We've got Butland in goal, a back four of Tabarez, Felipe, Alex and Suma, with Leshy and David in midfield. Salcedo, Merson and Roberts behind Hutchings. We're going with the 2 inside forwards today. I don't really like doing it. I mean, I could, I guess, make Patrick Roberts a winger. We'll see how the game goes. We'll start things off with both of them on inside forward, and if it looks like it's not really working, then we'll switch it up. But Hutchings hasn't scored a goal for me yet, I don't think. He's really not any good as a striker. Without Pingu and Dolberg, we're struggling a little bit from goals from our actual striker. So Hutchings, I've switched to an advanced forward rather than a complete forward in the hope that he just stretches the play a little bit and creates some space behind him for Roberts and Salcedo to come in and score the goals, which is what they kind of have been doing. Patrick Roberts is looking good, and there he is running through, plays it into to Hutchings. Merson was running on and he was just completely ignored, and Salcedo hits the post. And there you go, both of them involved almost straight away. Tommy Merson, it looks like he's picked up a little bit of a knock. Was his condition low before the match started? I don't remember it being that low. Surely we've not picked up yet another injury to yet another attacking player. David running through. Don't really know what he's trying to do there. I think it was supposed to be a shot, but it looked more like a weird cross from level with the goal. Pretty sure I don't usually cross from there. I'm pretty much settled on my tactic for the time being as well. Control fluid, be more expressive, roam from positions. We talked yesterday about how I want to try and get Arsenal playing the way Arsenal used to, the way Arsenal can, with sort of free-flowing attacking football, lots of creative players doing fancy things. I think I went a little bit too far towards that yesterday and it cost us. We seem to be looking quite good with just those instructions on at the moment. So I've not fiddled for a game or two at this point, and it seems to be working okay. So I'm not planning on fiddling again anytime soon. That being said, I think we're away again. Are we away against Chelsea or at home? If we're away against Chelsea, definite fiddling required. We might even tweak it a little bit if we're at home, because Chelsea are second in the league and we really can't afford to pick up any more defeats in the league. Suma with the cross, it's headed clear. David again finds Hutchings, who, I mean, he's just useless. He's not very good. Both Hutchings and Merson, although they're young English players, I don't know that they're good enough for an Arsenal team that should be pushing for Champions League spots. They're two players who I urgently would like to replace in the summer. The only problem is by replacing them, depending on who we bring in, we could find ourselves in a similar problem to what we had at Leicester, where we replace all our average young English players with really good foreign players, and we end up not being able to include them all in the squad. So Merson and Hutchings have got the advantage of being English, which is going to keep them squad spots until the next wave of youngsters come through, I guess. But I just don't need to have them starting games like they both are today. And that's something we need to fix. We just want a penalty. We have, and it's Salcedo to take. And hopefully score just to put this tie to bed. We're already 3-0 up with 3 away goals from the first leg. That's a terrible penalty. We've had 21 shots today and only 3 of them have been on target. We're putting work the ball back into the box again. Someone said in the comments a couple of days ago, I think, that they thought work ball into the box was about increasing the amount of shots that you have. I'm pretty sure that's not the case. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think work ball into the box is going to discourage the players from having all these long-range shots that are amounting to nothing, and encourage them to get the ball into the penalty area and create proper chances rather than just shooting on sight. And I think it's a side effect of playing a system that's got be more expressive, roam from positions. We're telling the players to try and do something special, but they're trying too hard to be special all the time. And we just need to say, yeah, okay, be fancy, but also let's get the ball into the penalty area rather than just thumping it from the halfway line in the hope of scoring a wonder goal. Right, Gruitch is coming on for a rare appearance. None of these are really attacking midfielders. None of them really want to do it. Maybe we do this. The problem is none of them are really defensive midfielders either. They're just midfield. I suppose there's no reason why we can't just do a midfield 3. And you can just be an advanced playmaker in the middle. There you go, do that. I don't see why that's necessarily something we shouldn't do. Certainly no reason why we can't experiment. We're going to bring on, Spadutti, who is a winger. So Patrick Roberts, we'll keep him on inside forward, push him a bit further forward. We're also going to take off Jake Hutchings because he's rubbish. And, he's not the guy to bring on. I want to bring on the other one. We are very much playing kids as backup strikers at the moment. Daniel Wilkinson's only 17, but he's played a couple of games in the FA Cup and the League over the last couple of games. And Aaron Adamson is also 17. And again, I think he might have come on in the first leg of this actually, but we'll bring him on again, stick him up front. He wants to be a target man. Go on then, lad, be a target man. See if I care. And we'll put you on attack as well, because we don't want everyone on support up there. That just seems silly. This has turned into a weird tactic. Can we just rewind the tapes to a couple of minutes ago when Kev was saying how he's not going to fiddle with the tactic anymore? Has anyone got that? I think he's made 4 or 5 significant tactical changes there in the same match where he said... Right, Roberts, can we grab a goal? Cross comes in, Spadutti, straight at their keeper. We've had 30 shots today now. 30 shots, 61% possession, and it's 0-0. We've gone from one extreme to the other. We've gone from not being attacking enough to too individualistic and fancy and not actually trying to create a goal for the team. Because in those 30 shots, we've only had 2 clear-cut chances. Yeah, we have had 6 half chances as well. We should have scored a goal today. Now we finally do. Adamson gets his first assist for the club, squares it across to David, and it is 1-0 on 86 minutes. It's 4-0 on aggregate, and hopefully Kasper Dolberg isn't going to be injured for much longer. Pingu, I think, is a write-off for the year, but Dolberg should be back for the next round of this tournament, hopefully. We are also into the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, so, we've got the potential to have a really good end to the season. If we can just get a striker fit and put together a decent run of results, we could, best case scenario, win the FA Cup, win the Europa League, finish in a Champions League spot. And that is going to be a good first season at Arsenal. Equally, we could finish mid-table and win nothing, in which case I will justifiably be sacked, and goodness knows where I'll end up. Maybe even back at Leicester, because they're just in free fall down the league, and we'll probably be looking for a new manager anytime soon as well. So we might have an immediate return to Leicester if the rest of the season doesn't go to plan. But first, let's go play Chelsea. I don't know if Dolberg's going to be fit, but good, Chelsea are in goal-scoring form. That'll be fun. Well, you're going to want to pay close attention for the next couple of minutes, because get used to watching Chelsea, because you'll be watching them again tomorrow, because we've drawn Chelsea in the second knockout round of the Europa League. It's pretty much the hardest tie we could have got in the entire competition, but we'll come back tomorrow with Chelsea in the second leg, and then we'll have the FA Cup quarter-final against Man City. So it'll be all the cups tomorrow, especially if we lose now and just pretend the league doesn't exist for the rest of the season, which might be what we have to do if we keep losing. Positively, we do have Kasper Dolberg back. He's only passed a fitness test to play an hour, though. I'm putting it on you lot to remind me on the 60-minute mark to take him off, because we certainly can't afford to re-injure him, because that would be problematic for the rest of the season. Also, DVD is fit again, so he can come in on the right-hand side. So Patrick Roberts moves in behind Dolberg, allowing me to drop Hutchings and Merson out of the team, and Benitez, he might have come in as well. I forget if he was in the team for the last game. I've had a little bit of a fiddle for a few minutes trying to work out what I'm going to do, because the other thing I've done is I've taken off those team instructions that caused all the problems in the last game, so I probably could show you this. No team instructions at all, just back to standard flexible. Absolutely back to basics, because I said I wasn't going to fiddle, but that performance in the last game was ridiculous. We can't be having 30 plus shots and not actually creating any proper chances. So we're going to take off all that express yourselves nonsense and just, normal football, standard, normal. I mean, I should have gone 4-4-2, just really gone back to basics, but I can't quite bring myself to do that. Roberts picks the ball up, finds Benitez, out to Souma. Let's have an early goal. That's a terrible cross from Souma. Jamie sat there on the bench going, won't be long before I get an opportunity if he keeps crossing like that. We need our width. I mean, we have got Davide on that side. DVD, hang about. He's scored. And now we've got a name for him as well. He's DVD. I can say that. I can't carry... This guy's going to be in our team for ages. I can't be saying his name wrong all the time, so we're changing it. He's DVD from now on, and he's going to like it. But I've got to change it. That's a nice little finish. The wingers combining. Look at this. Kev knows how to use wingers. I can't pronounce their names, but we've actually got some wingers working properly. And this fella, are we not allowed to... Perhaps he's not going to get a new name. The game is telling me it doesn't want me to rename him. Look at the state of that Chelsea attack, by the way. I know we've seen him a few times over the last few seasons, but goodness me, look at the state of it. Where's it all gone wrong for Arsenal? How did they finish second last year, pushing Man United all the way? We don't have an attack of that kind of quality at our disposal. Patrick Roberts. He's not exactly equivalent of Mbappe or Asensio, is he? Psh. Right, here we go. Let's grab another one. Chelsea actually lost in their last game against Leicester. Leicester doing us a favour just a couple of days ago. It was in the Carabao Cup, so it doesn't really count as a football match. But it was only a couple of days ago. And fingers crossed, they've tired Chelsea out and knocked their confidence a bit. And we've just gone 2-0 up for Claudio Benitez, who wasn't even registered in our squad for the first half of the season. I registered him during January because I don't really get why he wasn't registered. He looks really good. In fact, I don't know if you've met Claudio Benitez yet. So let's show him to you now. Skip that, Benitez. Why can't you click on that screen? This is Claudio Benitez. He's only 24, full Argentinian international. Why would you not have him registered? I know he's officially only 3 stars, but I mean, he looks all right. He was good in his last game. He scored a goal in this game. I think we might have a new star. I still haven't got him registered for my Europa League squad because I couldn't fit him in that. But it seems silly not to have him in the Premier League squad when there was a way to do it. So fingers crossed he becomes a superhero and I can claim I discovered him, even though he's been at Arsenal a couple of years. And Chelsea are coming at us and just tearing us apart just before half-time, and we're saved by the post. We have got away with that massively, and they've got an injury to Mbappe, which, fingers crossed, they're going to take him off because he always scares me a little bit. But, I mean, the other two, Asensio and what's his face, Jesus, absolutely destroying me. And there's Sander Berge, a non-league to legend veteran of several years. I think he's been part of a couple of our squads before. Maybe it might not have been non-league to legend. He might have been in my Everton team a few years ago. But he comes back and bites me in the bottom. I'm talking of non-league to legend veterans, by the way. I forgot to mention our new under-21 and under-23s manager is Anthony Wordsworth, who I'm hoping by offering him a job in-game, real-life Anthony Wordsworth will reach out to me and finally sign my pink Southend shirt, which still hangs on the wall in my bedroom. I need to bring it out here somewhere, really. If you're not sure why I own a pink Southend shirt, you should go back and watch last year's non-league to legend. Right, Where were we? Phone ringing now. Yesterday we get the postman. I wonder when the next time I'll make it through recording a video without some kind of interruption is. The world is just out to get me. When did we concede a goal? I don't remember that. Oh, Berger. I do remember that. Right, come on then. Let's have... Oh, hold on. The 61-minute mark. Dolberg's on the ball. Hopefully his legs don't turn to dust through being on there for 61 minutes rather than 60. We'll bring Hutchings on. Do the same as we did in the last game. Stick him on advance forward. Mainly to get him as far away from the good players as possible so his uselessness doesn't rub off on him. Oh, DVD nearly grabs another one. And it bounces back off the post. He's having a cracking game. And Dolberg has made it off relatively unscathed, it seems. And we can now make our normally scheduled substitutions. And Tabarez not playing well on a yellow card. We don't have a left back to bring on for him though, so none of that matters. Leshy can come off and we'll bring on Junior David for him. And we'll leave it there as we mull over. I mean, we've got another 4 central midfielders on the bench. That's all we've really got. We've got a look for a team that's been playing 4-2-3-1 for several seasons, or at least all so far this season, according to the tactics screen. There's an awful lot of central midfielders here at Arsenal. Hutchings nearly scored. I don't know why there's quite so many of them, but we need to sell 2 or 3 of them in the summer because all 4 of them who are on the bench are central midfield players. We don't need 6 or 7 Premier League quality central midfield players fighting for 2 positions in the team. In fact, shall we bring Rabiot on? Rabiot. Is he an actual defensive midfield player? No. I kind of don't even want to bring him on. We'll bring on Stark. He's a proper defensive midfielder. Oh, he's a defender who can play in midfield. Right, this allows me to do this. And stick him back there. Move him out onto the left wing where he can play as a winger. And you can just sit there as an anchor man and we'll drop back to counter. And hopefully hang on. I don't want to go back any further in counter. That seems silly. We're too good to have to go defensive or contain, I've decided. But if we can hold on, or even grabbing a third would be delicious. Of course, now they've got the chance to break on us, and I hope we've got our anchor man sat there. Is that him charging back? He should have already been back there. He's supposed to be anchoring. Big ball forward to Hutchings, who actually wins the ball in the air. That's 2 touches where he's not been completely useless today. Perhaps there might be a Premier League player in there somewhere. Not a striker, of course, because he doesn't know how to score goals, but there might be a footballer in there somewhere. Roberts does well, finds Hutchings, and again, he's kept hold of the ball. I mean, that pass was to absolutely nobody in a red shirt, but importantly, we've won the match. 2nd place Chelsea, and we've beaten them, and that leaves us at the end of the episode still 3 points behind West Ham, 7 points behind Man City. I'm not worried about the Champions League. If we're at West Ham on my target, I want West Ham and at least one of these cups, and that'll be a successful season. But we'll be back tomorrow with 2 cup games, Chelsea again and Man City. And fingers crossed we'll be getting deep into some cups and we'll have won a few Premier League games in the meantime as well. We're starting to put together a decent run of form, which is nice to see. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.